It is day 6 here at the 75th Men's College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. And this special edition of the Connor Happer Show, most especially Hour 1, presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. And 1620 The Zone is joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Strain Brewing, Nebraska Fresh, and always evolving. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, we got Josh Hudson here, Jimmy Chavez back in our 1620 The Zone studio. Day 6, 2 more elimination games today. Matt McMaster, well, maybe elimination games if this particular teams lose.
Win. Oh.
Yeah, yes, that too. Yeah, I guess you're right.
You can do both.
You could, yeah. Glass half empty, glass half full.
Yes.
Yeah, classic.
Why
me.
are you a negative human?
I'm so negative. Everyone is always asking.
Why do you hate Scott Frost so much?
People do ask me that question. I don't hate him.
What is your issue?
I don't hate him. I speak truth to power, Matt.
Who hurt you as a child?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a quick answer.
Husker fandom, Cowboys fandom. It ruined me.
I beat you, though.
If I was a Gen Xer, I'd be a huge loser, first of all. No offense. No offense. But also, I would have been a happier sports fan.
Isn't
the guy who just walked by probably Gen Xer? Probably. No offense, though, I said. No offense.
That doesn't make it better.
I said no offense.
Hey, Josh Hodson, you suck.
Whoa.
But no offense.
Whoa.
No offense.
Josh, you are great. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Good take.
I'm full of
poll question. Is Josh Hodson great?
I think the answer is unequivocally yes. As we mentioned,
I'm voting no.
We have games that could be elimination games, or it could set up rematches tomorrow. We have Louisville and Coastal Carolina coming up at 1 o'clock. We have Arkansas and LSU.
That was my Donald Duck, by the way. There you go.
Arkansas LSU coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. If Coastal Carolina wins, they're moving on to the championship series and is done. They're toast. Their season is kaput. If LSU wins, same thing. But if either Louisville or Arkansas or both win, we're getting 1 or 2 games tomorrow. 1 or 2 games tomorrow. I'm going to ask you for your pick right now. What is your bet on what we're doing tomorrow? Are we A, doing a regular selection of shows? Are we B, here for an extended unsportsmanlike conduct ahead of one game? Or are we C, doing the same thing we've been doing for the last week? What are we doing tomorrow?
I think we'll be here for one game.
Me too. I think
Arkansas.
Boom. We agree. I like Coastal, and then I like Arkansas today. But
Louisville's games have been weird.
They've been very strange.
Okay, so let's break it down.
All right. Wow.
Like their first game against Oregon State was a walk-off.
Strange
game.
Strange.
Their second game against Arizona, they were losing, and then the strangest inning where Arizona decided to stop figuring out how to throw the ball.
We like pooping ourselves.
And Louisville was just like, we're going to run. We're just going to keep running.
Handshake meme. me and them handshake meme.
And then the third game yesterday, they were losing.
Wow.
Then they started hitting home runs,
which
they don't do apparently. Some idiots said that.
People in OBV were like, they don't hit home runs.
They don't hit home runs.
Why would you say that?
And then they were winning, and then they blew it, and then they won it. So maybe Louisville is weird again. Maybe they're the Josh Peterson of CWS. They're weird, and they run everywhere.
Wow, I'm weird? I thought that I just ran everywhere.
You're a strange human.
I am an odd duck.
You're an odd son.
No, that's Josh. That's the other Josh. You confused the Joshes.
It's very easy. You guys look so much alike.
We do indeed. So that's what we got coming up today. 2 games, and it is now into toasty season. Yesterday was the best weather of the whole series, which is hilarious because yesterday we thought it was going to be the worst day.
It was doomsday.
It was. And then every
Connor
game was
Happer
played.
Kept saying, we are screwed.
Yes.
We are so screwed.
But he didn't use the S word.
We have never been more screwed.
He kept using a different word. And then the weather was great. We were enjoying a tasty beverage with Mike Schaefer and his wife Shelby. And the weather was amazing.
It was great.
I got home and I debated, Matt, do I even need to take a shower tonight? Because I had barely sweat.
Okay.
But I stunk, so I said yes. I will take
on
a
the
shower.
first 3 days, I was like halfway through the day, I was like, I cannot wait for the shower.
Wow.
And then yesterday, I was like, I'll just take one in the morning.
Just take one in the morning
Which I did.
at 4 a.m. So Matt woke up at 4 a.m. and took a shower.
No, I take my showers either like the first thing I do, I wake up, I run in the shower, or it's like right before I leave, I take a shower.
There you go.
Or it's never in between.
Well, you know what, Matt? Today you won't be having a debate. Should I take a shower? You'll be taking a shower because it's going to be gross, and then tomorrow it's going to be gross.
It's not going to be that bad.
And then Friday it's going to be gross, and then Saturday it's going to be gross, and then Sunday it's going to be gross.
Today,
heat index is this weekend over 100 degrees.
What are you talking about?
It's going to be stinking.
It's going to be 75. It's going to be 80 is nothing.
Oh, is today not hot?
80. It's 80.
It feels hot though, right now.
It feels today's going to be a lot like what it was yesterday.
Is my phone lying? My phone says it's 71 degrees.
No, it is. This
can't be true. It feels like it's on fire right now.
You're a wuss.
Wow. Maybe it's because it's sunny on my legs and you're in the shade.
Yeah, well, that's your fault. You get here before I do. You get to decide.
But, he has to hand me – it's 69 degrees.
Nice.
But I have to be here for the reads. If I was there, it'd be too far away.
Why can't I do a read? You let John Bishop do a read.
No, well, John drives the show. I'm driving the show.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm just going to
Do you want to read? Do you want to read later?
I want one read.
Okay, I'll give you one read.
Thank you.
All right, I'll point at you and we need
hungry.
You to read. All right, so coming up on the show today on this special edition of the Connor Happer, we have Connor Happer regular things on Wednesdays, like I have an opinion.
It doesn't need to be Wednesday for me to.
Yes, you have many takes. Get in your opinions now.
I think Josh Hodson coined me as Take Boy.
Take Boy? Sounds about right. You do opinions on email and on the text machine, right? All right, perfect. So send in your text to 402-951-1620.
I have an opinion.
402-951-1620 on the special edition Zone Hotline powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. You can text us your opinions. You can tweet us your opinions. Or you can also email us your opinions, and also get Josh involved as well. Josh O at 1620thezone.com. I'm Josh at 1620thezone.com, and you're Matt at 1620thezone.com.
How creative.
Send us your opinions there. So we have that coming up. We also have Connor Happer on the show. What a get.
What a loser.
Nice get, Josh. Happer will join us at 11. What's so funny?
I forget. I'm often reminded of the Connor Happer bits, but I like it when people who aren't Connor Happer do the Connor Happer bits.
What bit did we do?
Nice get, Josh.
That's actually a Grum. That's a Grum bit.
Nice get, Nick.
I've been saying it for years. And here's a little.
Well, you go.
Nice get, Nick.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
so like Connor Happer goes, nice get, and you go, nice get.
And I will say this: I'm going to let people in on
a little inside baseball.
A lot of the time when I say that, I booked the guest. And so it's a fun little joke between Nick and me.
So you're patronizing your producer.
Like when we have Kugler on.
PPing.
No. I'm just making a funny. When Kugler comes on the show, I'd say 95% of the time I set it up with like it's a DM. Hey, Kevin, do you want to join the show? And so when we'll be like, hey, we have Kevin on, I said, nice get, Nick. But it was me. Same with like Bill Connolly and a couple other people. But for the most part, I also like saying it when it's a regular guest. Hey, we have Mike Schaefer on. Nice get, Nick.
Yeah.
It's very fun to do.
Yeah.
It's very fun to do. Sometimes John books us Ed Service, though not anymore because he retired. He's done.
You could still book Ed Service.
I mean, we could, but again, I guess around here we do like talking to retired
people.
Just
book. Like,
we love retired
if you
people.
Just book random people.
We could do that.
Like
on the Schick and Nick show, they used to do that. Like, hey, this guy climbed a mountain one time. Should we have him on in Omaha, Nebraska? Sure, why not? Nice get. Shane.
Schick.
Yeah, or Schick, yeah.
Or Nick.
Fun. Yeah.
I haven't met him.
Our strangest get that we ever had on the show was who is in Star Trek? He's the famous guy. Who's the famous guy on Star Trek?
God, this is
William Shatner. We had him on for some reason. He was in Omaha.
That's awesome.
We had William Shatner on the Grum. It was our strangest, but it was nice get Stibbs.
I should do that. I should just book a random actor.
You should. That'd be great. We talked to the guy who played who was the Dr. Pepper dude in the first iteration of the college football playoff commercials?
Because
he's from Omaha, right? Yeah, we had that guy on. Yes. We also tried to get, what's his name, from Workaholics, and then Righteous Gemstones, who's from Millard South. He went to Millard South, right? He went to Millard South. That guy doesn't respond, though.
Oh.
He's a Nebraska fan. I want to talk to that guy. He's hilarious.
I would love to get Murr from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, there we go.
That'd be a very random get.
Don't know who that is, but I'm sure he's great. Also coming up on the Connor Happer show today.
Hey, dude,
let's go, baby.
Good to see you, boss.
We might have Mitch Sherman. We're hoping to have Mitch Sherman on the show in the noon hour.
Depends on the traffic.
We would love to have Mitch Sherman.
Is he going to come here?
Yes.
Nice.
Mitch Sherman of the nice get, Josh.
We're bringing on all comers
of the Athletic and the Locked On Nebraska podcast.
A very good podcast.
Fine podcast. Get it wherever you get podcasts for free. So we have that, and then some other fun guests from right here at the Omaha Baseball Village.
Are we having Robin Washit? Or is
no Robin today? Robin is actually a Thursday Grum regular. Robin will join us tomorrow.
Oh.
Robin will join us tomorrow.
Did I look at the wrong sheet?
No, I thought that I had told you, but I did update it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
apologize.
Look at the update.
It's
I wasn't
okay.
looking at it during my
It's
show.
okay. I mean, the same questions you could ask. I guess you're probably going to ask Robin basketball questions.
I have no idea what I would ask Robin.
Well, we'll ask him Mitch Sherman football and baseball
I'm on
questions.
the fly type guy.
Going to be a great show, so we have all of that coming up throughout the day. And you know what, Matt? Are we powered by anybody here?
Hey, we're powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska.
Excellent work.
Not bad.
This
Not
was
bad
a really
at all.
big, bold. It kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, you've been wanting to do this all week, and then you're thrown
my
off.
bad.
You want to do it one more time?
Hey, we're powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska.
That was better. Use take two.
Great job. Yeah, let's edit that out of the podcast, please, in post. All right, we'll
Kyle,
continue.
edit that out of the podcast.
We'll continue to roll on. Also, I have a getting to know Matt question that I'm worried to ask.
Getting to know you.
Because I think it could just be a whole topic for the show.
Okay.
And so I'm scared. We'll see
Why
if
are
we
you
can
scared?
Because it could take over the show. Nope, we're not doing that at 10:13. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Josh Hodson, Jimmy Chavez as well. It is the Connor Happer Show from the OBV on 1620, The Zone. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster on the Connor Happer Show, a special edition live from the Omaha Baseball Village, where this hour number one, is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. We are also powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. All right, Matt, we're continuing to get to know you. And as I said, this next question
getting to know
could take over the whole show, but we're not going to let it. We're going to just do one topic.
No promises.
One segment.
No promises.
Well, we have a guest coming up in 10 minutes.
No promises, Josh Peterson.
Matt McMaster, can Nebraska football ever win another national championship?
Yes.
What? Show your work.
No, I think they can do it. I think crazier things have happened. So Washington made a national championship. TCU made a national championship.
I said win.
Okay.
And that was in the 14 playoff era.
No, I know. And so what I'm just telling you is that, you can make a we've seen that anybody, a lot of different teams can make a national championship. And, if that game just goes your way, just crazy things have to happen once in one game when you win a national title. Here's the thing. I think the one thing that is holding Nebraska back is the fact that they are located in the country, part of the country that they're located in, and all the talent is elsewhere, right? Yeah. And all of the teams that are where the talent is, they have the proximity to home advantage.
John has long had a stat. I don't know if you know this. In terms of football and men's basketball, Nebraska football is the state with the smallest population to win a championship in either of those sports.
Yeah.
Smallest population.
So it's just
by far.
It's just one of those things where the talent is elsewhere. But what I am encouraged by, and this is why NIL, and I've said it from the beginning, that NIL and pay to play was always going to help Nebraska, because it is easier now to be like, look, I know you're from Florida and you want to play for the Gators, but we'll give you $100,000 more to come and play for us, right? You didn't have that legally before.
Yeah.
So now you do have that. I think, and they're already proving it, that getting high-level talent from other places is becoming a little bit easier and a little bit more fluid, and that money has made it a little bit more accessible to get that type of talent. So, yeah, do I think it's likely that they win another national championship in the next, while I'm alive, or in the next 40 or 50 years? Is it likely? No. Can it happen? Yeah. I don't think I'm not going to sit up here and say, no, it definitely can't happen. Magical things can happen. You can put it together. You can have two really great recruiting classes. You can find lightning in a bottle. You can have a season where it's just magical. Is Nebraska going to make the national championship every 5 years with
those days are over?
Yeah, no. I don't think there'll ever be an Alabama or a Georgia or an Ohio State or a Clemson in the regard that it's every other year or every 3 years they're in a natty. But why can't you be a Washington and just put together
But again, they lost.
No, I know. But I'm just telling you in general, there's no reason why you can't just have a magical season and make a great run and then you end up winning it. So I'm not going to say it's impossible. Is it likely?
No.
I'm not going to act as if it's likely, but it's not impossible.
Let me ask you this. Do we take anything away from the Dylan Raiola era in the next 2 years, most likely, hopefully, right? 2 years max. Do we take anything away in that if you can't even get to the playoff with a 5-star quarterback who you got in large part because his dad played it, should we take anything away from that? I think we should.
I don't think we should.
Why not?
Because Hunter Johnson was a 5-star quarterback and he was terrible.
But the purpose is
Dante Moore.
Can they get these guys, though?
They already have. Trey Taylor's on the way.
I mean, is he a 5-star?
He's going to be.
Okay.
He's going to be.
Okay.
He will end up being a 5-star quarterback.
Okay.
I've seen it. I've talked to the people who have seen him play. I was at the Battle at the Boneyard. There was
You sent a text that night. You were very much thumbs up.
There was a consensus that, now, he's got to win more than 5 games in high school, which is going to be tough because, funny enough, so this is actually nice that he's committed and he's a prominent part of Nebraska football because I'm very familiar with where he went to school.
Sure,
Carmel was in my same conference. So Carmel football is not good. Carmel football is kind of on the mid to lower tier of high school football in the Chicago Catholic Conference, right? They're not punching up to the Mount Carmels or the Brother Rices or the Loyola Academies. So I don't know if we could be well, they only won 7 games or only won X amount of games. But he definitely needs to put his film on that tape and not necessarily in these like showcases and whatnot. And not, I mean, he's a lot of like, whoa, he's big and he's 16 and he's long and he's got a great arm.
But he has a crappy team around him.
Yeah. So
interesting.
He's got to do a little bit more on like the football part, in my opinion, to be a 5-star. But he very well could be a 5-star. And Trey Taylor is doing a great job of like self-recruiting or team recruiting.
Yeah,
peer recruiting.
I asked this question, I think, at Schaefer last week. Is he like the personification of what Nebraska fans have been hoping for from a quarterback commit, like for however long, right?
Here's the biggest thing. So I went to Loyola Academy's graduation, which is a big school, massive school in Chicago. And they had 0 kids going to the University of Nebraska. I went to the University of Nebraska. I was one of 2 kids who went from my class. The next 3 years in my high school, nobody went to Nebraska.
Interesting.
So Nebraska is not like a prominent Illinois college. Like at least in that, from where I'm located, right? Like people aren't like, a lot of kids go to Nebraska as like a lot of kids go to Ohio State or Indiana or Purdue and everything like that. So from a football perspective, right? The fact that the top quarterback recruit in Illinois has that N next to his name, that opens up a lot of eyes across the state being like, oh, not only is Nebraska here, Nebraska's getting top talent in Illinois.
Interesting.
So that could have a trickle-down effect. But, no, I mean, yeah, I think to answer your question, I think a lot will play into that. Like, I do think a lot of people will be like, well, if we can't win with Dylan, if we can't make the playoff with Dylan, then who are we going to make the playoff with? My answer to that is sometimes 5-stars don't work out.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess my thing is, and look, if you're right about Trey Taylor. It's just he was the first 5-star quarterback that they have signed out of high school in the modern era. Sure. Tommy Frazier would have been a 5-star back in 92, but it's such a and probably different Eric Crouch, right?
Yeah.
Much different time. Those are 30 and 30 whatever years ago. So it was just different. But I'll hear the
but
argument you're making.
I do think it would be okay. As time goes on, and if they keep winning, it's going to be easier to sign.
See, and we talked about that. We've all talked about it a lot the last couple of weeks. The pressure on the team this year to just win and then be able to finally sell winning and not the idea of winning
is
massive. Oh my gosh! Every coach since Bo has I think done a good job. The initial sell has been like Mike Riley, I think, did the initial sell well. I think Scott Frost did the initial sell well. Sure. I think Matt Rule has done the initial sell well. But at some point, you got to take the next step.
Well, it's just so much easier to recruit for when you're winning because you're just like, hey, we're going to plug you in.
Yeah.
You're just going to come in and this is what we do. When you recruit and you haven't been winning, you have to like convince them that it's actually going to happen. And so I think it's actually, I know it's the whole last name thing, but at least they had to try. They had to really try and get Dylan. I know that his father was, played here, was an incredible player here, has a legacy, but it still was a battle to get Dylan Raiola to commit, and they still had to compete and they still had to sell. And so I don't think we give them as much credit as I think is necessary for actually landing Dylan.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to battle, they had to fight.
But I will say this, and we already kind of talked about it, I think it was simple. Like, if they don't make the college football playoff with Dylan, the whole Dylan thing is a failure in my eyes. But at the same time, I like the fact that if they didn't have Trey Taylor kind of locked up and coming in 2027, I don't know if I would feel the way that I feel. But the fact that they've already proven that, hey, we can consistently.
Their quarterback recruiting's been really good.
I mean, we're forgetting about TJ Lateef, who's a 4-star from California.
Yeah. And
it's
nuts what they've been able to do.
I know, I'm just saying.
Dayton's
okay. Dayton's not – a lot of people are like, Dayton's only there because of his last name. If you watch Dayton's tape, kid's got an arm. Yeah. And he's physical, and he's a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Hey, come by the zone booth inside the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun.
Excellent work, Matt. Also, the 1620 The Zone Hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. It's Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Take a taste. Got some responses coming into this discussion that we can get to as we roll on throughout this hour. But coming up next, a great conversation from one of our lovely friends here at the Omaha Baseball Village. We will do that when we return as we continue to get ready for a couple of games today. Louisville and Coastal Carolina. get things going just after 1 o'clock. Pregame at 12:40, and we are looking forward to hearing that one. But until then, we're going to be doing a radio show. It is a special edition of the Connor Happer Show with Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Josh Odson here at the OBV. More to come on 1620 The Zone. Well, welcome back to the special edition of the Connor Happer Show, where we are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And a reminder that Country Fest is back at the OBV in 2 days. This Friday, OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johnson, Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. Speaking of the Omaha Baseball Village, Oakley is back yet again, and we are so happy to welcome. Look at that round of applause for Oakley.
We all love Oakley.
Yeah, Kyle Donahue stopping by. Been with Oakley now for 17 years. Kyle, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having us. We're always happy to be out here in the OBV.
We are so happy to have you back. We were just talking a little bit off the air about the variety of things that Oakley does. And I thought one of the cool things that Matt brought up was that, so many people, I think when they think of Oakley, they think of the glasses that my radio partner Connor Happer is wearing right now, the baseball sunglasses that the players will wear on.
Kind of like glasses you're wearing right now, being honest with you. Yeah.
But we were talking about the casual lifestyle sunglasses, and you have those as well. And so it's always just a great reminder that, you pretty much have everything anybody's going to want.
Right. Yeah, Oakley's a great brand. They lead the innovation in sport performance eyewear, but there's a lot of room for that kind of performance optics in everyday eyewear. So out at the OBV, we were working with Shields as our retail partner, great partner of ours, and we have a huge selection. All the sport performance eyewear, the new stuff that just dropped this year as well, and then a ton of lifestyle, and even expanding into sizes. So classics like the Holbrook that, similar to what you're wearing in the Oakley world. Yeah. We're going all the way up to double XL now. So bigger, wider heads can fit.
Nice.
A lot of good stuff out there.
I feel like in sunglasses, bigger has become better. like the bigger the glasses, the bigger the lenses. People like that. Kids like that. That's more modern. What have you seen? Because you said, 17 years you've been with Oakley. Yeah. How has that evolution been for you?
It's wild. I've got a lot in the archive at home that I look at, and I'm like, this was once cool, but I can't even hand this off to a friend anymore. But no, everything's gotten bigger. It's all about coverage when you're trying to protect your eyes. Oakley puts protection, clarity, comfort, and protection are the key elements. And as long as that comfort is built in, the protection, you kind of want to go as big as you can fit. There's certain lens cuts. We just came out with the Sphere Slash, which is a different shape, a little higher on the cheekbone for somebody that might have some interference with the bigger lens, but still have that full coverage. So
nice
lifestyle stuff too. A lot of the people that have been wearing the brand for a little while and haven't needed a new pair of sunglasses in a decade. It takes them a minute to pick something up and you look in the mirror and feel like that's right for them. But if you look around the booth and see all the younger kids and everything, they're all going bigger. So for the most part, it's, finding the right size that fits you and fits your style.
Kyle Donahue joining us from Oakley. Speaking of the evolution of things, I'm always blown away in a variety of fields at the amount of science that goes into making a product. And we were talking a little bit about that. I can see it on your sunglasses. It says Prism right there. Yeah. These lenses, what does that help do when you're wearing a pair of sunglasses from Oakley?
Yeah, so our tech portfolio is huge. Hundreds and hundreds of patents. With Prism, it's about contrast enhancement. It's about taking into consideration the colors that we need to see in a specific environment. With Prism, our engineers have honed in on specific sport applications, and Prism Field is one designed for diamond sports. The red of the stitching of the ball so you can see the spin, the reading the green on the field, the patterns mode into the grass can help you with depth perception if your eyes can see and perceive that better. But it carries over into our everyday lenses too, available in both polarized and non-polarized. So it's there. You've still got the optics, the best optics in the industry with our XYZ technology, and we even have industry-leading impact protection, which is huge. You catch a bad bounce or something, and you don't want that lens to shatter into your eyes. It's important what you're wearing.
Oh yeah.
When I think of high-quality sunglasses, I think of the Oakley brand. You've been them with it for a while. What do you think the key to building that, has been for where when anyone thinks of like, oh, those are nice sunglasses, are those Oakleys, right? How has that evolution been?
Yeah, we're super fortunate. Out in Foothill Ranch, California, we have our global headquarters. We have all of our R&D based out of there. All of our design is still coming out of Foothill Ranch, California. At this point, manufacturing, there's some variety of where it comes from. A lot of the product still has the made in or assembled in USA there, but really having that headquarters where the world's best athletes can come and give feedback to one of the, most robust R&D and design teams in the industry, and having the freedom to spend the money and spend the time to evolve the product and look for those advancements. And that's where things like Prism come from.
And then the importance of being ahead of the curve and maybe, setting the conversation, if you will, in terms of the style and look versus reacting to it. That's obviously been super important with Oakley over the years.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it comes from all angles. There's the diehard Oakley fans that just want to see what comes next. And we get a little bit of freedom in the design world for that, do things that others can't do or won't do. But then we also work with some really influential athletes and celebrities. There's a big following for the brand, whether they're being paid by the brand or they just know that that's where they go to get the stuff. If it's the Tom Cruise in the next movie or, any of the players out on the field or in their cars and motorsports, anything like that. It's been a super fun brand to work with over the years. We dabble in everything, and there's a lot of crossover. You'll see the golf athletes out with us at a snowboard event or vice versa, and all over the board. So it's fun.
Kyle Donahue from Oakley. Kyle, this has been a fun conversation. Congrats on 17 years with Oakley. Keep it on rolling.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
very
guys.
much appreciated.
You guys are the best.
Good luck with the rest of the week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This hour is presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT, member FDIC. And come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's official ice cream is 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1 of the Connor Happer Show. Connor Happer's going to join us soon.
Connor Happer's here. Hey.
Talk some baseball. He called a no-hitter.
Whoa.
Connor Happer, the voice of no-hitters. Also the host of the Locked On Pod. And he's the titular star of the Connor Happer Show.
And he's a dad.
And he's a dad. Happy Father's Day, Happer. We will come back and wrap up hour number 1. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster with you at the OBV on 1620 The Zone. We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And on this special edition of the Connor Happer Show, we have a special edition Zone Hotline powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. You can text us at 402-951-1620. Get your opinions in, because at the top of the noon hour, I have an opinion. Pedro just sent in an opinion that we'll read in, let's see, 75 minutes.
Fun.
Wow, can't be more excited than that. Good Lord.
It's an okay segment.
Okay segment.
It's okay.
John writes in, of course, Matt thinks Nebraska can win another national championship. He's delusional. He thinks Matt Rule could last another 8 years.
That was such a terrible question by you, because I go
terrible
ahead
question,
and I say
it's very
unlikely that they win another national championship. And now everybody's going to be like, oh, Matt McMaster thinks they're going to win the national championship this year. I didn't say that. I'm just saying never say never.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said you did say.
And also, too,
what?
What? He goes, he thinks Matt Rule can last. He said Matt Rule is going to last another 8 years.
He thinks Matt Rule could last another 8 years.
I literally go, I said,
triggered.
Is it going to happen? I go, probably not, but I'm not going to be shocked if it does.
Okay.
That's not me saying it's going to happen.
You wouldn't be shocked?
We already had this convo.
You wouldn't be shocked?
No.
That's crazy. If they won a natty, I'd be blown away.
Well, no, I said about the 8 years, not the natty.
Oh, my bad. That's my.
Yeah, if they won a natty, I'd be shocked.
Okay.
I would be shocked, but I'm not going to say it's not going to happen.
Matt Rule lasted another 8 years. What word would I use to describe?
You said stunned. You said
that would be surprising. That would mean that he's Nebraska's coach for 10 years at least.
I wouldn't be stunned.
You know the last coach that at Nebraska lasted 10 years?
It's Tia.
Tom Osborne.
Yeah. But like Solich was what?
Solich was 6 years.
It was 6.
Bo was 7 years. Frost was 4 years and 3 games.
Okay.
Mike Riley was 3 years, and Callahan was 4 years.
Okay.
So the longest lasting coach since Tom is Bo Pelini.
At 7.
7 years. That's still 3 years away from a decade.
But I think that if Matt Rule continues to have the attitude toward the fans and the media, not only locally but nationally, and then wins the games.
Well, that's the important part.
That Bo wins, right? So if he puts together.
If he became a 9-win coach?
Yeah.
That'd be big.
Like, wouldn't you say he would get to 10 years? Probably, if he continues.
If he starts winning that many games, yes.
Yeah.
If he starts winning that many games.
No. The whole, show your work.
Yeah.
That's just me, the guy has won. If he were still at Baylor, right? If Baylor continued, if he didn't go to Carolina, he would have had a
successful run.
He would have had, I'm not saying he would have had 8 straight 9 wins.
But he would not be a 500 coach. Because he's always left once he's built.
Exactly.
And so if he stays at Nebraska and he's able to do what he did at his previous stops, his record's going to get good.
That's the one thing. Do you think Matt Rule would ever leave? I think there is one job.
You think Penn State?
Yeah, and that's,
I'd be curious if he wants to try his hand one more time at the NFL. But I always thought that Nick Saban might, and Nick Saban never did.
He's made it pretty clear that he doesn't want to go back to the NFL.
I just wonder if a guy has a lot of success. Sure. So let's say he has a lot of success. Does he not look back and say, man, COVID really did railroad me early?
No, because
it railroaded
there
me.
were aspects of even post-COVID stuff that Matt Rule has admittingly said that he did not like, that there were things of just the NFL that he did not like.
He can control his brand and university at a level that you are unable to in the NFL, or that you shouldn't.
What I think this year, what he has done, is Matt Rule has taken aspects of the college game that he liked, and he's taken aspects of the NFL game that he's liked, and he's put them together
like a smash burger.
And all of the yes, he's the Tom Cruise of doing that apparently, which I don't even know what that means. I'm being honest. What does that mean? You do it in the movie theaters?
I don't know what you're referencing now.
He said, "I'm the Tom Cruise of smash burgers."
Oh, interesting.
He said.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Okay,
yeah, back to Matt Rule.
Back to Matt Rule, though,
and the NFL and college.
I think that everything else, all the other aspects of those two things of just coaching, he's kind of just been everybody else gets to do it, and he's just making sure that he's doing what he likes, which I think is good for him, and it's good for Nebraska.
Sure.
That the things that he enjoys doing the most, your head coach has his hands on, he's doing that. So, I think he's a good coach. I just think that, man, he's proven that on Saturdays he hasn't been the best at managing some situations.
And that's why you need to build all of the other stuff so the in-game management does not come back to bite you. You need much more talent.
Which is why I think that he hired Dana Holgerson to do that. And he hired Eckler to do that. And, John Butler is an inexperienced DC, but who is right under John Butler, kind of John Butler's right-hand man.
Come on, Phil Snow?
Phil Snow.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Phil Snow's hire is really, really important because Snow is going to be very crucial into handling that. And, last season, they didn't have anybody on that coaching staff who had experience being true game managers. They now have two of those guys and a very experienced special teams coordinator and Mike Eckler. So, they've supplemented stuff. I think they have handed that, I don't want to say athletic department to him, but they have given him everything he could possibly want. They have given him
He has
everything.
no excuses.
He has no excuses.
Which is a good spot to be in.
No, and it's exactly...
Bo couldn't have said that.
So that's the thing, too. That is great. I'm glad that the head
Some
coach,
people don't like it, that he has so much power. I say, if you want to win and this is the way you're going to do it, great. And if he fails, he doesn't have an excuse.
Thank you.
No reason to fail.
It doesn't look bad on Nebraska.
It looks bad on him.
It looks bad on him.
Correct.
He wasn't the guy. It looks bad that Nebraska hired him and gave him all that control.
Sure.
But there was nothing. It was laissez-faire in terms of
I would
the
view
athletic department.
if I'm a coach elsewhere, I'd view it as a positive. So they're willing to do. They're willing to put grass in a stadium because the coach wants grass, even though they've had turf for 50 years.
Crazy.
It'd be great.
At the same time, you're paying him $78 million.
Yes.
He better have full damn control.
Exactly.
Of what?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you're going to pay a guy $80
We're like
million?
that Greek photo.
Yeah. You're gonna. No, we're handshake meme right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But you're telling me you're going to pay a guy $80 million and then you're going to be micromanaging what he can and cannot do?
That'd be stupid.
Get the F out of here
with
that. And so the whole I don't like that. He basically looks like
a nice guy.
Well, he does. He is.
You got that reference. You didn't get that reference. He did, though.
Okay.
He seems like a nice guy.
It's Tommy Boy.
I have seen that movie.
Okay.
I like it when Tommy takes the car and he crashes it and he lights the fire under it to try and sell the brakes.
Oh my God!
It was
two guys in his corner puking his guts out.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, good stuff. Happer's meme guy texts in to 402-951-1620.
I have cotton mouth.
Well, have some water.
I know.
Matt Rule is going to Tim Miles his way into being here longer than he should be regardless. You hear it already. He's one of us, and he's just a normal guy trying to do every interview, be at every event, thinks he's earned the right to be a CEO head coach with a career record barely over 500. Lots of parallels. Nebraska football, all Matt, no cattle.
So here's the thing.
Wow, spicy.
Here's the thing.
Like one of those gyros I'm going to have for lunch.
So John texted in and was like, Matt Rule will never he thinks that Nebraska's going to win a national championship. That's crazy to think. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like those fans who say that, if I also said to him, just Matt Rule for the next 6 years or 7 years is just going to win 9 games, they'd be like, well, that's not good enough because Bo did that. And then we fired Bo.
Those people need to grow up.
I think Nebraska football, sometimes when we have these discourses, we're like dogs chasing our tail.
Yeah.
It's never going to be good enough.
Correct.
Correct. Well, a lot of people would be in agreement that Nebraska could never win a national championship, but then they would also say, well, if you just
9 wins isn't good enough.
Yeah.
See, now, and I'd say this, not to relitigate.
And I just want to say too, I am not classifying all Nebraska football fans. Okay. I'm just classifying that there are some.
Yeah, they can get you in trouble.
Who are like
putting
that.
every person in a bucket.
I'm not putting every person in a bucket.
That's
Absolutely
that screenshot
not.
that came out of Matt earlier today, though.
That was bad. But at the same time, I'm not putting every person in the bucket. But there definitely is some people who have loud enough voices who are like that, where it's we're a high quality program.
Yeah.
And we not just only winning 8 games all the time. That's not good enough. That got Bo out the door. But then at the same time, they'd be like, well, they'll never win an Natty. So then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If 8 wins isn't good enough, but you don't think they're going to win an Natty, then what will ever satisfy
Maybe
you?
9-3 forever would make people really happy. Tom Osborne always won 9 games.
You had that.
Yeah.
And then people weren't happy.
Well, Bo was compared.
I know Bo.
It was a different era.
I know it was a different era, and Bo did things off the field that kind of caused.
He called the fans bad words.
Yes.
And then he called the athletic director the C word.
It's just
a lot.
It's just when you have these Bo conversations and it's just a sticky situation. Like there's no right answer.
Sticky like us at the Omaha Baseball Village tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be 100 degrees.
It's just a really, you never win in those combos.
No.
Like nobody ever becomes victorious. Nobody like you're an idiot for thinking that they shouldn't have fired Bo, or you're an idiot for thinking that 9 wins isn't good enough. And there's no in between.
John wants to know, does Matt think all Nebraska fans look the same?
No.
Yikes.
No.
Tough look.
Never. When did I say that?
Because you put them all in a bucket. They all look the same to Matt.
I did not put them all in a bucket.
Don't say that about any group of people. They all look the same.
I never
That's
said
bad,
that.
Matt.
I never said that.
Okay, I'm just confirming.
I never said that.
Always important to confirm. Always important to confirm.
Which is why I went back and said, I'm not saying this about the entire fan base. I'm just saying it about.
Don't put it on the internet that he said it about the entire fan base. Connor Happer is here. He's going to join us next. He has to be so triggered right now. We have spent a half hour of today's show talking about Nebraska football. This is glorious. He's so happy that he doesn't do these shows anymore because he's in the booth.
I'm having a good time.
I'm having a great time. Hanging out with my new pal, Matt, and I'm talking football over and over and over. Though we haven't really been football heavy, I'd say, the last few days. This is the first time.
It's funny. John goes, hey, I bet Matt and Josh won't talk about this Diego Pavia stuff today.
Pavia.
And we were like, we already talked about Diego P. yesterday.
Are you just going to call him that now moving forward? Instead of Pavia, Diego P.
Diego P.
Cats are
Diego funny. PP his pants. That's what I call him.
Cats
peeing all over himself. Diego Pavia.
He did pee one time. Cats are funny. Says Bo's 9 wins was propped up in his last year by Amir Abdullah pulling wins from losses.
It's okay. And once again, there are no winners.
Coming up in hour 2.
When we talk about Bo, there are no winners.
Connor Happer will talk about Bo Pelini in hour 2. This hour, though, has been presented by Union Bank and Trust. No matter where life takes you, you can always feel good about banking with UBT. Member FDIC. And 1620 The Zone is joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving. Connor Happer joins us live when we return on the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone.
Children's Nebraska. Here are your hosts for today's broadcast, Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster on 1620 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of the Connor Happer Show is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. And the special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. An in-person hotline today. Connor Happer has the headset on. You know him from podcasting. You know him from announcing no-hitters. And today he's a guest.
Wow.
Look at you. Hi, Happer.
Wow. Also guest on the Danny Cannell show earlier this
week. Look at you.
Yeah.
Nice get, Danny.
Nice get, Danny's producer. I forgot his name.
What's his name? Billy, Bobby, Jimmy.
Let me check.
Nice get, Chad.
People love talking to you, Happer.
I don't know how they find me.
The Vegas
Ryan.
Nice
get,
Ryan.
Remember when you went on in Las Vegas after the night of fun?
Oh, man. I want to find video of that because I don't think I had any saliva in my mouth. It was hard. It was the hardest radio interview I've ever done.
It was hard to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I have no saliva in my mouth right now. I do not know why.
Water.
I'm trying.
Have so much liquid over
Were you imbibing yesterday?
No, I talked for 4 hours before the show today.
Ah, yes.
Marta Baton. Give him the Marta Baton.
I don't got water on my way to get the Marta Baton.
We had a whole commercial break.
Get him the cucumber.
We had a whole commercial break, Matt.
Yep.
I can't wait for our meeting. How did the shows go? Well, Matt didn't grab water during commercials.
I really enjoyed listening to you guys.
Yeah.
Get the stuff during the commercials. I really enjoyed listening to you guys in the ballpark. Hello to everybody at the Chuck Box today.
So we're on at the ballpark.
Just depending on when they flip it on. You know, whenever Gino decides, like, hey, I don't know. These guys are you guys are talking about nonsense. But yes, hello to everybody in the ballpark.
Yep.
Over by the radio booths in the elevator.
Nice.
Shout out to Ike and Henrietta, probably in there right now.
What's up, Howard?
Nice. Yeah, he met Howard the other day.
Howard Borden?
Yeah.
Hello, Howard.
They talked for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Howard goes.
You talked to Rich Hill for like 90 minutes.
I know. It was great. I've been talking to a lot of people. Even when I'm not on the air, I'm just talking.
I asked Matt yesterday how many words Rich Hill got in the conversation with Rich Hill.
Rich Hill got a lot of words in the conversation.
Okay, all right. How many questions did you ask him?
Like 1,000.
27? Was it like the ACT?
I would say I only took that 6 years ago.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
I'm going to call you the thing you hate. You're a tiny baby boy.
I'm going to kill you.
What'd you get?
29.
Whoa, that's smart.
Whoa, that's way smart. I got a 24 smart. 3 times. 24, 20. My dad goes, at least you're consistent.
I think I got like a 21 and just called it.
Nice.
I was like, that's good. I go to college.
I got a
wherever I need
score on the reading section. I got a 36 on my reading section.
Whoa, were you honored by the state?
No.
Wait, you can read?
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the ad read, I can't read, apparently.
That's why I asked.
I was struggling.
How many times did you take it?
3.
Whoa.
So the highest. Okay,
did you test prep?
So I lied. I got. Listen.
What on earth?
Listen. My best score, right? The best pure score I got was a 27. Okay.
Wait a minute. You just said 29.
But if you do the super score,
what's the super
the
score?
Super score is where you take the best score from all the tests that you took. No,
that's not a thing.
Poll question: have you heard of the super score?
That's not the super
score. That's
what
I put. There's you take a slice of every test and you put them together, and that's your super score.
That's not.
So my best pure score was 27. My best super score was 29.
That's no.
Matt,
what do you
we're
mean?
talking tell women at the bar.
Score.
I got a 29.
Well, that's a lie.
After I talked about my karaoke,
where are these women? At what bar?
I go to the karaoke bar. I go, nice song that you just sung. I like that artist. Would you like to see my high school hockey highlights? And then I go, I got a 29 on my ACT.
Hey, Alyssa, if a man walked up to you and said, I got a 29 on my ACT, would you be impressed? No.
Yeah. Close the yearbook.
Nice.
Well, technically, I just got my yearbook. I finished school.
Because you're a tiny baby boy.
Tiny baby boy. Oh, my God. You guys are so funny and original.
Thank you, Happer. Or Matt.
Wow.
You're Happer.
Wow.
Connor Happer joining us. Happer,
Wow.
you called a
I'm not
no-hitter.
bald and redheaded.
You're on your way to one of those, though.
Screw you.
Facts.
You called a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Coolest moment of your broadcasting career?
I think definitely by far.
I mean, there haven't been many.
No, there hasn't been. What's the top 5 on that?
The show that you and I did after we went out drinking.
That was number probably 3.
Great day.
Yeah. I did a DePaul basketball game.
That was cool. I was so happy for you.
You saw Troy D'Amico, my boy.
I saw Troy D'Amico.
You had an amazing 2025.
It's been a really great year.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I had a child
And then you
in
met-
2024.
Yeah, so if you just
But you met me in 2025, so congrats.
I met you before that.
if you do calendar year, Happer, you're having some moments, right?
Yeah.
Is
you
Connor
gonna win?
Happer having a moment?
Are you gonna?
Full question.
Is this the? I think I'm ready to call this a top 3 moment in Connor Happer's broadcasting.
I would put this year right up there with 2014 for me. In 2014,
the Royals lost.
2014, I just had this 4-month stretch where I was so hot.
So what else happened?
It was like July.
He lost his virginity.
It was July to like October.
Yeah.
And
The Royals really good.
The Royals
he
were
lost his
awesome.
virginity.
no.
Shout out, Happer.
Shout out Happer.
It was great. It was
That's
a
awesome.
great run for me.
Yeah.
And then I had
Bo
to
got
wait.
fired. Good times.
Every 11 years, you might be able to just jump up and grab 9-10 wins, go to the playoff. And that's the best you can hope for because Nebraska's not going to win another national championship.
Bingo.
Thank you.
Yep.
And if you say that on the radio,
You're an idiot.
No, but if you say that on the radio, it's fine. If you say it on a podcast, it's the only thing that anyone will ever think about for the rest of their lives.
What?
This happened to me like just a few weeks ago
Where you said it and people went crazy about
on a
it?
podcast. Yeah.
The email inbox filled up. Screw Happer.
Can you believe he
And
said
he wore
that?
a Jays polo one time, and then they got even.
We
mad.
found
working.
We found your hats. It says J-Sker over there.
They ran out, I heard. But
Oh,
please
really?
go visit them.
Did they really run out of that hat? That's
People-
awesome.
There are a lot of J-Skers out
Yeah,
there.
people
I
are
know.
proud of it.
I went on the radio and said I don't have a problem with J-Skers, and then all the Skers got mad at me.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes
And then
sense.
some of the Jays get mad at that too.
yeah, some of them.
You know what? People just like to get mad at me, and it's
People
just
love-
the reality that I live in, and I love it.
Yeah.
I have an opinion.
No, save that for noon.
Okay.
Happer, Connor Happer joining us here at the Omaha Baseball Village. We were talking during the break. Will we get 1 game tomorrow, 2 games tomorrow, or 0 games tomorrow?
I said at some point yesterday, this is when the vibes weren't so good. And
They were so bad.
we were worried about
that was your fault.
we were worried about potential weather and things of that nature. I said this just feels like a year where we just get max games.
Yeah.
So maybe we get 2 tomorrow.
And then a game 3 on Monday.
And then a game 3 on Monday in the championship series. Maybe it's a max games year. I don't know. I don't know.
I think we're only getting 1 tomorrow.
1.
I think Arkansas.
You think Arkansas is
I think
have
Coastal is going to win their 26th in a row.
weird feeling that Louisville is going to win another just weird game. Like there's like at the very end, some weird shenanigans is going to happen. And I had to post a picture, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have kept talking.
No, I just didn't want to have my mouth open during that nice picture, so I just paused for a second.
You did a great job.
Josh told me that pregnant pauses are something that I should do. Not Peterson, Alton.
Okay, I was like, I don't
So
remember
I
this
took that advice. That was my pregnant pause.
Josh said that was good.
He was like, you need some pregnant pauses, is what he told me. So,
So
I
I
would
way
ju-
of saying slow down.
I would say just pauses.
so I'm just going to
Take a breath.
Breathing is important. Get
take
the
a breath. And
Hold the
continue to
martyr
talk.
baton.
Yeah.
That's what I am, but I think Louisville is going to win today. I
Okay.
actually do think they're.
So
going
do you
to
think Arkansas is going to win?
I think we're going to have 2 games tomorrow.
Doubling up. Nice. And
It's
we
going
were
to
rolling.
be so warm.
I've
So-
changed
so what-
my opinion. I think we're having 2
Pop
games
quiz. Pop quiz.
Okay.
What day is today?
Dude, I have thought it's Thursday a dozen times.
tomorrow. I think today's Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
It's
Josh, what day
spoiler
actually is
alert.
it? You're the answer key. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What day of the College World Series is it?
6.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that one either.
Yeah, it's day 6.
That's good.
Dude, I woke up
If
today.
somebody asked me something that happened on game 2 or game 4, I would say, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what was it? Was it yesterday that I was talking to you and I made reference, or maybe it was Odson. We were talking about the NBA Finals, and he said something. I go, "Oh, the game last night," and he goes, "That game was last night." It's like it was 12 hours old. And didn't remember.
Literally 12 hours old.
Yeah. When you have the game that gets pushed back and has to resume, that just throws everything off. You know, you got to stay on the 2-a-day track, which maybe we will.
I'm hoping we do.
If Matt's prediction comes true. Oh, you're hoping so.
No, why not? I like doing these things. I like coming out here. I like it, the Omaha baseball.
You like going upstairs and hobnobbing?
I'm a good hobnobber. I can hobnob with the best of them.
He loves it.
I'm going to make a graphic with that quote. I'm a good hobnobber.
I'm a great hobnobber. I was hobnobbing with Rich Hill.
Josh has questions. What do you have?
Yeah, you haven't asked a single question.
I don't have questions.
You just keep talking. All right, here's an important question for you, Happer. Grade the shows so far.
This show,
the Josh Matt experience.
Well, I have it
B+.
I don't have the full scope.
Too much football.
I'm kind of parachuting in. It's like when someone who covers Nebraska football is like, "Oh, there's a softball game." You know, what do I? It's like they don't have the full picture. Correct. I don't have the full picture.
Jordy Ball, good.
Sure. Yeah, that's my take. Jordy Ball, good at softball.
So from what I've heard, there's been too much football for sure.
Oh yeah,
so much football.
Not enough Cubs. Not enough baseball.
Not enough.
We've talked a little bit about baseball.
The no hitter we talked a lot about.
C to C+.
Okay, looks like you almost said C-.
Oh my God.
C to C+.
Okay.
Yeah. It's passing. You get it. C's get degrees.
Yeah.
Well, I actually did get all A's and B's, but
with your 29
ACT.
Try hard.
I am a try hard. Yeah. How are you? Are you well rested?
Great question.
That's your question.
Wow. You prepped hard for this interview.
It wasn't an interview. You just said Connor Happer's coming on. I thought we were just going to have a good old time and just talk to see Happer.
Camaraderie, boys.
Very camaraderie.
We're feeling good. Yeah, okay, I got no issues. I could use some KRT athletic muscle cream.
Ooh.
Dude, I rubbed some on my hammy yesterday.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a feet situation. You know, I did have a little bit of time to take my shoes off yesterday.
You love taking your shoes off.
That was awesome.
I walk in the studio and his shoes are off and off.
Does he have stinky feet?
See, that is like a nervous, not nervous, but like that's just a tick. It's just like I'm talking and then all of a sudden I just start doing this.
Yep.
Yeah, it like my
he does.
And then my shoes are off.
Have you ever gotten a pedicure?
No, I had a ingrown toenail.
Oh my God!
Once. Yeah.
Lord,
that was bad.
I've the multiple people that have gotten who are males who have gotten pedicures. They've all told me that it's incredible.
Really,
it's nice.
They enjoy it.
Get a foot massage at the end too.
You should get a pedicure.
Cool.
Yeah,
go with your wife and.
That's when I did it. My wife and I went and we did it.
No. I mean, I don't think too many guys are getting pedicures without their wives or their girlfriends.
I think my dad does sometimes.
Good for your dad.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Final question, Happer. How much do you miss Odson?
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I will say this. Josh Odson was so happy and had a smile on his face the entire time you were calling the college baseball World
Dude, he was
Series.
so pumped.
You guys have been very supportive of me.
He was sitting down, and he was just bouncing, literally bouncing up and down.
He was so pumped for the outs at the bottom of the third. He's like, it's about to be.
He's like, my boy. He's like, my boy's about to call it. He's like, my boy's gonna call the college World Series.
That's Josh. Thank you very much. I don't. So we did the math yesterday. I looked at my scorebook again. I called 2 hits.
Whoa!
But
that's it.
Not by one of the two.
There was one double play that didn't actually turn out to be a double play.
Did you get to say called strike three?
Yeah,
I love called strike three.
There was some called strike three. There was some swing strike three.
Did you say twin killing?
I would say though, by the end of my 3 innings, which were 4-6, like by the end of it, everyone's starting to turn their attention to the no hitter.
Yeah,
and
at
so
the time, a perfect game.
Just a bit outside.
Right.
Wow. As we say goodbye to Happer, John writes in, don't forget to tell Matt that the I Have an Opinion segment, which people love, is to read and react to listeners' opinions. It isn't a segment for him to talk nonstop again.
John literally, I have to stop acknowledging John because John knows I acknowledge him, then he just keeps saying mean things about me.
I can't wait to see the criticism he gets on Big Red Overreaction this fall.
What criticism? Hey, we're going to bring in Daryl from Ashland. Daryl, what do you have to say? Daryl's going to be like, they suck. Thanks, Daryl. Right,
no. Daryl will talk for 4.5 minutes.
The callers are about 4-minute calls.
And then I go, all right, Pete and Gretna. Pete, what do you got for me? Cool. Thanks, Pete.
Wow. And then, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have some things to say.
No, I'm
not.
You're going to argue with this so much.
I know how to do talk radio.
You're doing a great job. I'm having a blast. I say B+ for our shows.
Travis in the YouTube chat goes, excuse me, grade the show. This is the Connor Happer show. You have to grunt the show.
Oh!
Can you give us a grunt for how the shows have been?
Yeah. So what I say, C?
Yeah.
I'll take it. That's Connor Happer of the Connor Happer Show.
Could
and
be
also Westwood One.
Yeah. Yes.
You're on the field tonight.
This says Westwood 1, so I'm Westwood 1.
Awesome.
I'm on the field tonight.
And you will be on the field maybe tomorrow. And
we got to get you a better picture.
Well, I think there's a world if we get to, like, if we, for whatever reason, have to play games on Friday, given the weather situation.
No, we're not going to have that.
Okay.
No.
Well, yeah.
But tomorrow, Thursday, it is you for the night game if there's a night game.
But look at Friday.
Whoa! Look at that. Okay, now I'm rooting for weather.
Another booth.
I'm rooting for weather.
About Friday?
Happer would be in the booth.
Another booth game.
Oh.
Back up to you in the booth.
And I am the new John Bishop for the championship
because you have two hands.
Because I have two hands, and John has a pillow.
Yeah. Oh, is he at the pillow up there?
Well, Glenn Sisk, the lovely sports information director at Creighton, brought him a Cubs pillow.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Can we get a photo of this?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah,
thank you.
We got to get you a new picture here because you're a better looking man than what this picture is. It just doesn't bring out the brightness in your eyes.
I think it does the trick.
My photo is from the Chicago Marathon last October.
My photo is from when I did a photo shoot. This is my take 5.
Yeah.
This is my take 5 photo.
Oh, I know. I see it every day.
This is just dreamy Matt McMaster staring into your eyes.
Connor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great call tonight.
Good show. Hopefully you can turn it into a B.
Let's do our best.
Turn it into a...
That would be nice.
That'd be a good grunt.
We are powered by Access Bank, here for a reason, yours, and by Children's Nebraska. And the 1620 The Zone hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. It's Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Take a taste. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster with Josh Otson. We roll on over the course of the 11 o'clock hour. Continue to get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion. We will do that at the top of the noon hour, plus odd news coming up this hour as well.
Wow, Josh.
The odd news with Josh Odson. We are counting down to a potential elimination game for Louisville, or will they live to see another day versus Coastal Carolina? Pregame at 12:40, first pitch just after 1 o'clock, right here on 1620 The Zone.
Yeah, why not?
Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster, Hour 2, presented by Nebraska Medicine, Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Centers. Get a second opinion at nebraskamed.com/cancer. And a great reminder that Country Fest is back at OBV. This Friday, OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johnson, Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. Connor Happer is still here.
Baseball.
Still here. Crap. Now are we pressured to talk more baseball?
Well,
I was going to
maybe
talk
that's the reason why I'm here.
Damn it.
No.
Come on. What do you got?
Do it. Yeah. What
Let's
baseball?
talk some baseball. All right. Runners on first and third.
Okay. Yeah. This is what I asked. This is what I asked Rich Hill. This is the exact thing I asked Rich Hill.
Oh, my God.
I go,
No, you
Rich,
didn't.
all right. So we got a lefty on base, all right?
No,
we
you did not.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not. No.
I actually believed you for a second.
I asked him if Dave Roberts was a good manager.
What did he say?
He goes, he's a great manager. He's like, it's really hard managing a lot of alphas in a locker room. Dave Roberts does it better than anybody else.
Wow, that was a very coach speak quote.
Well,
and
you did that for a half hour
and you
with
were
him?
off the record.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah, you were off the record. Did he ever say anything that wasn't that?
That wasn't
Did he say
positive?
anything interesting?
He said Alfonso Soriano was a really good teammate.
That's not interesting.
Alfonso
he said
Soriano
that-
swung like a
I love the way
a
he swung.
35-ounce bat or something like that.
he was crazy.
Yeah.
Then he said that Paul Skeens is like a dude. Like,
Okay,
he's a really good guy.
none of this is interesting.
I can say these things, and I don't even watch baseball.
He talked about
Oh.
he said Justin Turner was the best move the Cubs made.
What does he think about the slice score?
I didn't ask him about the slice score. I didn't go, hey, my friend Nick Grimm? I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Wow. No.
You could have. Wow.
What else did we talk about? We talked about UCLA being in the Big Ten. He thought that was weird.
I bet. He's old.
Yeah. We talked about that baseball worries too much about walks and home runs and fundamental baseball.
That's
has gone
true.
to the wayside.
Good take, Rich.
Then we
opposed to
talked,
what
and then he asked me. He goes, "What's a great
action?"
He goes, "What's a great steak spot around here?" And I go, "The Drover." He
Wow.
goes, "You ever been?" I go, "No."
Did you tell him that you were from Chicago and you had no idea what you were doing?
Yeah, no, I did. I told him that. Then we started talking about Wrigleyville. We talked a lot about Wrigleyville. His favorite stadium to play in is Fenway.
By the way, this was the day after Happer.
Yeah.
Where he was so exhausted.
I was so tired.
And I was pumped because I was like, this is going to be great. Matt's going to go home and finally get some rest. And then the next day I found out that he stayed at the stadium for an additional 90 minutes talking about Wrigleyville and the Drover with Rich Hill.
Yeah, and the committee chop house. I told him about he asked about Berkey Week.
Yeah,
because he was.
And what takes did you have on that?
Is he a shareholder?
No, he's not a shareholder.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he could be. But he was like, does Warren Buffett show up here a lot? And I go, he comes like once a year during a weekend. It's called Berkey Week.
He lives here. He still has a home.
Well, I didn't know that.
He
I'm
goes
a
to
newbie.
McDonald's every day.
I had no idea. Told him to go to Garage.
He went to E Creamery with Paul McCartney.
Well, I told him about Paul McCartney. I told
What
him.
did you tell him?
I go, Paul McCartney shows up for Berkshire Hathaway Week.
No, that was not that.
He goes, that's cool, is what he said.
Now he's going to use this as a fun fact.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
know.
going to be wrong.
He goes, Paul, I mean, that's what happens when he talks
So
to Matt
I think I'm
McMaster.
working at Werner Park on, I want to say the 4th of July game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go up to your boy and I'm going to be like, I'm sorry.
No, what do you mean I'm sorry? I have Rich Hill's number. It's in my phone. It's under Dick Mountain.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
what
his
they call him.
contact
That's
card.
what they call him.
That's pretty
So
good, man.
I told him, I go, next time you pitch at Warner Park, I'll come through and we can hang out. He goes, that sounds great.
That's probably like today.
Well, I know, but I was doing the math. Unless he's up in Kansas City by July, which when he gets called up, I'll send him, hey, congrats, Rich.
Happer, before you go, oh, sorry, did you have something?
Nope.
I was going to say Christine Brennan had something that I thought you might want to opine on. WNBA failed to meet the moment after Caitlin Clark scuffle.
Hey, so
That was cool.
What happened?
So basically, all these WNBA
we're
players
getting to that Caitlin Clark
have
thing.
been kicking the crap out of her, and she just kind of got fed up the other night, and it was just she was sick and tired. She said,
You're blaming Caitlin?
No, one girl said to her, "You can't do that," and she looked at the girl and said, "Yes, I can. I can do whatever the f I want."
Whoa.
Good take by Caitlin
And
Clark.
then she shoved her, and then Sophie Cunningham just straight up grabbed the girl's ponytail. and just started fighting her in the stands.
Dude, ponytail grabbing is...
Whoa.
It was great for the league.
What's the male equivalent of ponytail grabbing?
Oh, man.
Kicking in the junk?
No, like maybe
it is playing dirty.
Maybe like an armpit grab or something like that. Or
that's weird.
Grabbing an ear. Maybe you grab an ear. You grab a guy's ear.
The girls have ears.
Yeah, you got to think of an...
Well, guys have ponytails.
Yeah, but it's... I mean, yes, that's true. Yeah, I cannot argue with you there.
Not as commonly.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always any dude with a ponytail I kind of respect.
Really?
It's like, well, I mean, the fact that you take all that patience and time to take care of your hair.
Sure.
It's good stuff.
Do you not respect it if they don't have a ponytail?
Or if they don't have hair?
I don't respect people who don't have hair.
Whoa.
Well, good thing most people have hair.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm losing it.
Who was it Charlie Villanueva? Yikes.
Yeah.
Corey Maggette? Yikes.
Tough luck. Those guys didn't have hair for other reasons.
Michael
you
Jordan.
hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still had other hair.
Oh,
Charlie Villanueva had zero hair on his body.
He just couldn't grow hair at all?
He had a disease.
Oh, sorry, Charlie Villanueva. My bad, man.
Oh, wow. Come by the Zone booth inside the Omaha Baseball Village. Register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's official ice cream is 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson in the Old Market, Omaha.
He started with Rich Hill and ended with Charlie Villanueva.
We did indeed. It's a College World Series show. 1620 The Zone is also joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross Train Brewing, Nebraska fresh and always evolving. Speaking of KRT, great conversation coming up when we return, so we're going to have to say goodbye to Happer.
Bye.
Which is very sad. Happer. Have a great time today. We'll see you up in the press box a little bit later on.
I look forward to it.
So we'll do that. We have I Have an Opinion. We have Odd News. The show's almost over already. More to come. Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster with Josh Johnson. Jimmy Chavez producing here on 1620 The Zone. Hour 2 here at the Omaha Baseball Village is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Join our team at nebraskamed.com/careers. And 1620 The Zone is joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps. And by Cross Strain Brewing, Nebraska Fresh and always evolving. And we are literally joined right now by KRT. David stopping by. He's been hanging out here the last few days. First of all, David, thank you so much for joining Matt and myself. How are you?
Thank you for having us. Enjoyed it. It's been a great experience for me.
Awesome. So we were just talking off air about KRT and what's been going on with it. And you told me, you said, and it works. And I was going to say, it does. I've been having some hamstring issues now going on about 4 months now. And I'm a runner. And so I'm one of those runners who is very stubborn because I want to get out and make sure I get my run in every single day. Well, I decided yesterday, because we've had some on the table, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this out. Put it on yesterday afternoon. Felt great. Woke up today. I would say my hamstring has not felt this good in months. I'm 100% serious. It was awesome. And so I can say very much about this product, thumbs up.
Yeah. So did you use it before you ran or after?
I used it before.
That's the key.
I used it before.
That's the key because it's got a muscle endurance factor in it that helps you. What it basically, the science behind it is it penetrates the skin, recharges your poor muscle energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happens while you're going in your workout, it's like using your phone while it's still plugged into the charger.
Uh-huh.
So that's what makes it a cool product. We've got a U.S. women's bobsledder, has the same problem that you had. She ran track at Alabama and started using the product. She has always been on the hamstring list in the U.S. Training Center.
Uh-huh.
No more.
Wow.
She started using the product. She's always had to take weeks off for that and has not since she started using it. And she bathes in it before, after, off days. I mean, she's committed.
What I like about the product so much is that it doesn't have that like menthol smell, you know, and it's not, it doesn't have that when I put it on my hand, right, and then I put it on my back. It's not like I have to wash my hands over and over and over again, right?
It's not sticking with you.
No, I can kind of rub it off. What is the key to that?
Well, it does have a little menthol in it, 3%. The FDA requires that at least that much menthol to get a monograph for over-the-counter topical analgesic. So yes, it does have a hint of it in there, but it's not doing anything.
No,
there's absolutely no reason to have it in there. But it doesn't smell like menthol like what you're typically used to, like some of the other products that are out there. It's the combination of the natural ingredients that are in the product and the technology used that delivers it to the muscle is what makes it work. A lot of people don't understand. When your muscle cramps, it's because you've gotten poor muscle energy. It's like your phone going dead. So it penetrates the skin, recharges the muscle, makes the cramp. It's better than hydrating. It's less than 4 minutes. The trick to it though is you got to use enough.
Mm-hmm.
So if you used like a little bitty size of a dime, it's probably not going to work for you. You got to have at least a quarter, 1 or 2 quarter sizes. Rub it in really good.
Yeah,
you can't overuse it, but you can underuse it. And
interesting.
The few people that we've had that say, well, it doesn't work for me. Well, how'd you use it?
Sure.
Well, I just, and I see people, we're giving away samples here at y'all's booth, and they come by and they try to use it right there, and they get this look like trying to save the sample. It's got to.
You got to go all the way.
Yeah, you got to go. And yesterday we had a mom come through with a wheelchair athlete, and his shoulder had been hurting. The whole time they'd been here, and she said, well, will it work? I said, it should. Give it a try. And she tried to put a little. I said, no, man.
Got to go all the way.
Put it on there. She rubbed it in really good. They walked off. By half an hour later, she came back. And she said, my son has sent me for more of this. She said, that's the best his shoulder has felt in weeks.
That's awesome.
And he's in a wheelchair. He plays basketball.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of upper body.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
He was having a chronic shoulder thing, and she's hooked now.
That's awesome.
And it's one of those things you just have to try. You're changing the buying habits of people because they see stuff that this guy promotes or that guy promotes, stuff about. I mean, I'm 62. When I was in high school, we had Icy Hot.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're really trying to change the manner, the way people think about stuff like that. And there's a very scientific method to the way this gets delivered, and it works.
Yeah, and David, you mentioned David from KRT hanging out with us right now. There's probably a lot of people in our audience who won't be coming down here to the Men's College World Series, so thus they won't be able to stop by the booth. So for those who are interested in this, maybe they're having some muscle cramps, maybe they're dealing with some of that muscle fatigue, maybe there's someone like me who's had a lingering injury. Where can they go?
They can go to krtrelief.com. and get as much as they want. I think they're offering free shipping for it right now, so it's a good time to get it. It's not in any retail stores right now. It has a companion product called Control, Mm-hmm. It's a women's product, and you can find that in some Walmarts across the country, CVS, Hy-Vee, some other stores. But our experience in retail is not, retail's all about retail.
Mm-hmm.
So they want all the money. So we can't deliver cost savings to our customers if we're trying to make money for
sure.
So we're going to keep KRT. You can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
If you deliver it on Amazon, and you can get it. If you go to the KRTrelief.com, you can buy it right from us, from the factory, and we'll send it right to you.
I was going to say how, this product works. Okay. And everybody that I've talked to, whether it be Josh, whether it be our friend Michael, I put it on myself, my back. I've had back problems a really, really long time. I feel like more people have to know about this product. More people have to use this product, right?
Okay, because you want to know who the biggest proponent is of this product?
Who?
Johnny Rogers.
Really?
And he's coming tonight to go to the ball game with me. And I'll have him stop by and say, hey, if you guys are on the air, I'll have him.
Awesome.
Because he's going to meet me right here. Yeah, he did an infomercial for us. We sponsor his Jet Award every year here in Omaha. And he's what, 72, 74, still plays pickleball.
Oh, wow.
And he'll tell you, he said, I'd rather leave home without my keys and my wallet than leave without my KRT.
Sure.
One of our listeners just asked David before I let you go, good for arthritis.
Yes, it is. I have it in both my knees. It helps me out there. I'm a piano player by trade.
Awesome.
I moved to Nashville to be in the music industry and did that for 30 years, but I started playing when I was 12, which was 40 years ago. My hands just cramp all the time, and I'll just just let it cool off, and I'm back at it.
You're good to go.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is when you're doing stuff that you have muscle memory for, I don't find any pain playing the piano.
Sure.
But if I start trying to write my name with a pencil, not so good.
Game over. Well, David, it's been fun having you hanging out with us the last few days, and we really appreciate you stopping by. KRT, as we've been saying, we've been using it, and it has really done wonders for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, guys, anytime.
Awesome. That is David from KRT, a special edition Zone Hotline in person, powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. Stop on by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun. Come back. We'll finish up this hour with odd news. Continue to get your opinions in as well for I Have an Opinion, which will get here at noon, as we are now exactly 1 hour away from pregame coverage. Louisville, Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina wins. They're moving on to the championship series. If Louisville wins, they're playing again tomorrow. It'll be John, it'll be Farron, it'll be Gary on the call for this one, but we still have an hour of the show to go right here on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Back at OBV. This Friday, OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. Odd news time. We didn't get to do this yesterday because over the course of 12 hours that we were down here, we only spoke for like an hour. So not even. Now we get to hear from Josh, though. Josh, take it away.
I'm happy to report that Connor isn't here, so we can do this story.
Oh.
The Washington Nationals bat-retrieving dog Bruce made his Major League Baseball debut this week.
Oh, dogs!
Bruce, a 21-month-old golden retriever, fetched a bat during a ceremony Saturday before the Nationals' 4-3 loss to the Miami Marlins.
Yikes.
As part of a Pups in the Park promotion. He retrieved bats the last 2 seasons with the Rochester Red Wings, the AAA affiliate. So he got the call.
That's awesome.
That's what Rich Hill is dreaming of.
Was there like a Twitter video of like the dog walks into the office and he sits down in the chair. The coach tells him, "Hey,
we're calling you up.
Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" Or Sparky, what are you doing tomorrow?
Licks his butt.
Well, you're gonna have to call your mom because you're going to Washington tomorrow. And then the dog's like,
Thank God Happer's not here. He would hate this story.
He would hate this story. Now, I don't know if you guys are big into the trading card world.
I was when I was 12.
See, yes, I have a beef with the trading card world.
But, this might be part of your beef. When you make your Major League debut, they put a patch on your jersey, and then they cut that off of the jersey and put it on a trading card and sell it.
Yeah.
They put an MLB debut patch on a bandana worn by Bruce, and they put that on a trading card and put it in a pack. So somebody
is going to get a dog.
Well, yeah.
And then it'll be auctioned off for a ridiculous amount of money.
That's right. Like when the guy found Paul Skeens' MLB debut patch, and Livy Dunn was like, "Hey, you want to hang out in a suite with me instead?" And the 12-year-old boy had a Sophie's choice to make.
It was like a 13-year-old boy.
The Pirates were like, "Hey, season tickets for life."
Yeah.
And Livy Dunn was like, "A suite with Livy Dunn." I don't know what the 12-year-old boy picked, but I can guess what the 12-year-old boy picked.
Nice.
I think they sold it on auction, I'm pretty sure.
His dad must have gotten in there.
Well, it's called, would you rather have one game with Livy Dunn or have your college paid for?
At 12, I would have picked Livy Dunn.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, now, obviously, you'd say, what? I want my college paid for. But a 12-year-old's not thinking about college.
Nope. They don't think anything more than
who knows what
right
the U.S. university system will even look like in 6 years, Josh.
That's right.
Stick to sports.
Exactly.
fun of my friends. People, I have an opinion. We should make fun of our friends more.
What was that? Are we okay? Are we disconnected?
We were.
Are
Yes.
we back now?
We're back.
Okay. Hey, we're back. Okay, yeah, this makes sense then. Curtis says the last thing I heard over the AM was stick to sports, then the plug was pulled.
No.
Commercials are back. Oh, okay. Wow, people just missed a lot of funny stuff then.
Oh.
They didn't hear about the name.
Really?
That's why you got to come to the village.
We didn't even talk about. They didn't hear about the jokes about Australians that we were making.
No, I don't think they heard
They
about
were not jokes about Australia.
No, we didn't make jokes about Australians, but they didn't hear about the baby named Chernobyl.
Chernobyl McMaster.
So what are we doing here? Should we go to break? Get to the top of the hour? I don't know what we're doing because we got music in our ears still.
I believe that would be.
Well, why don't I do this? The 1620 The Zone Hydration sponsor is Coke Zero Sugar. We're going to take a break and have a little hydration.
Yeah, that's good.
Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Take a taste. We would love for you to come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village. First of all, you can hear us even when we lose internet, but also you can register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's official ice cream of 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson and the Old Market, Omaha. All right, here's what we got coming up in the final hour of the Connor Happer Show on this Wednesday, which famously, it's a Wednesday. We all knew that.
It's a Wednesday. Happy hump day. Mike.
I have an opinion. Will be coming up. We already have a bevy of opinions from the great friends of the Connor Happer Show.
I've never done I have an opinion before. This will be fun.
Neither.
Oh, wow. This will be a journey for both of us.
Okay.
Call us the Opinion Boys.
We are the Opinion Boys.
Yeah, we are. That's definitely true.
Or opinion. You ready? You're opinion men.
And I have just been informed we do not need to go to break. We're free to move about the cabin.
Wow. So should we just go into I have an opinion?
Let's just go. I have an opinion. Let's do it.
Welcome. It's I have an opinion.
Whoa, do we have like a dinky dink?
I can do the live version so Jimmy doesn't have to play the thing.
All right, give it to us.
This is the I have an opinion song. Need to make an intro still. Need to get on that. Yeah.
There you go.
Is that actually the I have an opinion
Wow.
song?
So someone we know listens to the segment with great regularity.
Wow.
I've never listened to an I have an opinion segment. I've listened to
Why?
I just haven't.
You have an opinion. Why don't you listen to the I have an opinion segment?
Because
you don't care about other opinions.
They don't play our show inside Prairie Flower Casino yet.
I'm probably asleep. What time do you do I have an opinion? 12 o'clock on Wednesday? I'm asleep.
That's right.
At this point. I listen.
You know we do podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not going back listening to I have an opinion personally. I'm going back and listening to the Twitter poll segment. I like that segment.
Yeah.
Or it's just like when, there's a good segment or a good topic. I go and I listen to a lot of the Connor Happer Show. I really do.
I can tell.
No, I do. I actually do listen to a lot of the Connor Happer Show. I talked to Connor about the Connor Happer Show and Josh Hodson. I'm not a P1er because I haven't been listening to I Have an Opinion.
I am a P1. I listen to like half of your show at least every single day.
Hashtag Lunch with Happer.
I love it. Whenever I listen to their show, I tweet them, hashtag Lunch with Happer if I have a take.
Oh, wow.
I have an opinion. I like the Connor Happer Show.
I have an opinion. I like Josh Hodson.
Me too. All right.
Wow.
Let's get to some of the opinions that we are receiving from the audience. Colin in WP.
White Plains.
White Plains, baby. I have an opinion.
Yes.
Trying to take a break immediately after a break is soft.
Whoa.
We were just trying to make sure that we were good to go clockwise. Yeah. It wasn't about being lazy. Though we had talked the whole time.
We did a good job. It was a good segment, actually.
Just didn't know that we had dropped off.
Hashtag Chernobyl.
See, and nobody knows. Oh, no, rain has arrived.
No.
Is this our Chernobyl?
I don't think it's that bad.
Is this our Pearl Harbor?
Well, not that bad either.
Those are questions. Old man Doug texts in.
I was nervous that Doug hasn't emailed me. Doug hasn't called me. I haven't heard from Doug. I was like, is Doug mad at Matt McMaster? I was a little worried.
Well, don't worry. He's not mad at you. He's mad at us.
Oh.
I have an opinion. Beastmaster should be on the movie club. Odds your thoughts.
Beastmaster?
What is Beastmaster?
It's some old stupid movie that he's been begging us to do. No offense. For years.
The TV show?
The movie, Beastmaster.
I'm not seeing this. 1982.
Doug was always in my emails telling me
18 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Doug got really mad at me because I haven't seen Tombstone. I
actually just saw that for the first time recently.
Yeah.
You just did it for Movie Club.
With Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Unforgiven.
Yeah, Unforgiven.
No, there's another one.
Tombstone is with Val Kilmer.
Okay, my bad. Oh, that was sorry.
So did you see Unforgiven?
No, I haven't seen Unforgiven.
But you've seen Tombstone.
But I haven't seen Tombstone.
You should watch both of them. Do a double feature.
Oh, there you go. He doesn't watch movies on his television.
Thank you.
Couple of
Do you know who
westerns.
also doesn't watch TV on their television? And he said the same exact reason I said, and he wasn't listening to the OBV show. My partner, Gary Sharp, was like, I don't really watch movies at home because I'm too distracted by my phone.
Put your phone down.
I will for Dune. I got to finish Dune.
Yeah,
I can't wait to finish Dune.
Yeah, I can tell. Douglas, Bad Takes Doug writes in, I have an opinion. The air fryer is one of the greatest inventions of the 21st century.
That is such a good opinion.
Chicken nuggets, air fry hot dogs, reheat French fries, pizza leftovers.
Yeah.
I have an opinion. Doug has the worst grammar of any listeners, but thank you for listening.
Well, he
Doug.
does. He does the voice to text.
Because I'll read it like it actually said. The air fryer is one of the greatest and centuries of the 21st century. Chicken nuggets, air fry hot dogs, reheat, French fries, pizza leftovers. That doesn't make sense. I had to clean it up.
I like that take because it really does show the versatility of the air fryer. The air fryer also clean it up easily, right? It's a quick cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
It's you could store it pretty easily. I mean, if you have a big enough cabinet, you kind of just have to leave it alone.
The air fryer?
Yeah.
Ours just sits on our counter.
Yeah.
We never put it away.
That's totally fine.
I love
too.
the air fryer.
The air fryer, isn't it just mostly prep, right? You just prep it and then you plop it in there.
Prep it? I just throw stuff in there. What do you mean prep?
Well, you got to season your food.
Oh, sure. I mean, frozen French fries?
Well, I don't do frozen stuff with the air fryer. I mainly just make chicken.
Oh, really?
Or yeah. Or
you do frozen stuff in there?
Well,
like chicken chunks?
No, I do chicken. I do a lot of chicken in the air fryer. I do pizza in the air fryer.
Like reheating pizza?
Reheat the
it's
pizza.
a game changer.
But it's not like frozen pizza, just pizza from the other day, and I just put it
My
in
air
there.
fryer's not big enough to heat a frozen pizza.
Sure.
But I'll reheat
Do you
pizza
have
in there all
a
the time.
pizzazz?
No.
A pizzazz? You ever see those, though?
Yes.
Where
I
it's
think Bishop just got one.
It's really cool. It's a great tool. And you get the crispy, you can make it real crispy.
Yeah.
So sick. But I go to Hy-Vee and I get the stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then I put the stuffed mushrooms
in the air fryer.
It's so great.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do in the air fryer.
I have an opinion from Pedro. And keep sending in your opinions.
Hi, Pedro.
402-951-1620 or tweet at us. I'll read this one real quick before Pedro. Andrew says, air fryer is a game changer. I love air-fried wings. Reheating wings in the air fryer, also tasty.
Good take.
All right, Pedro has a couple of them.
Hi, Pedro.
I'll read the first one first. I have an opinion. You guys are doing such a great job on the CWS live shows. I think you should do a tailgate show at a Nebraska game. The post-game show is great, but a live pregame show would be awesome. Great show, guys. And then 3 thumbs up emojis.
Sign me up. I would love to do a Husker tailgate show in front of people.
For all 12 games?
Yeah, why not? I would do that for all 12 games.
There you go.
Put that on
I
the
would
list.
actually, no joke,
Book
for
it.
every single game, I would do a Husker tailgate show.
And then you'll do
up
7
to-
post-game shows?
Well, I just said that's my number.
Okay.
That's my number.
12 pregame, 7 postgame.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't wait to hear Matt.
You're gonna hear
Daddy
a
wants
lot.
another driver.
Daddy actually needs irons, so that
Daddy
will
needs
go-
irons.
Daddy needs irons.
Interesting.
This is for the drive.
This is for the driver.
Football season's for the irons.
For the irons. Pedro's other opinion. Hi, guys. I have an opinion. Young homeowner Josh Peterson, you cannot be considered a mowing expert if you do not cut your lawn diagonally every third mowing. Your neighbors will be impressed. All right, 2 things.
Okay.
We don't own, sadly. We rent.
Okay.
We do cut our own lawn.
Oh.
But I have an opinion. I don't cut my lawn. My wife mows our lawn.
Whoa.
Gender norms
Whoa.
out the window.
Folks, it's 2025. Women are allowed to mow lawns.
I like how you spin zoned that.
I'm not
into
spin zoning
You're
anything.
based if you think that a man could only mow the lawn.
I don't want to mow. She wants to mow. It's awesome. My mom was stunned when I told her. She was like, she mows? And I said, yeah. And I go, she loves it. She goes, no, she does not. She's just saying that. And I said, Mom, she's not just saying it. She enjoys doing yard work. She goes and pulls weeds. She got this tool for pulling weeds.
Oh.
She adores it. I think she loves it more than me.
You're like, honey, come inside. Nope, I'm out here. I'm doing lawn care.
Yeah.
Does your poll question, does Josh's wife like lawn care more than him?
She might. You know what else she does? She does all of our grilling because she's great at it.
What a deal that you got.
Now,
Like,
what do
you
you do?
Yeah, what do you bring to the
I
table?
clean all the dishes.
Okay.
Are you a good cook?
No, she is.
Oh, okay.
She
Jesus.
does all of that.
So wait, so she cooks.
Yeah.
Okay. You clean, but she cooks. She does the lawn care.
Uh-huh.
What was the other thing that she did as well?
Pulling weeds, but that was part of the lawn care.
Yeah.
Grilling, but that's cooking.
Grilling.
That's cooking, though.
You lucky dog.
It's nice. But the issue is we have a griddle, and so the only...
Do you feel like less of a man because your wife... That doesn't matter then?
Don't care about that.
Don't care.
Don't want to be the breadwinner. There's a lot of these men out there who are like I'll see Reddit threads. My wife makes more than me. Boo hoo. I'm like, you're a loser. If you cry about your wife making more than you, I mean, unless you make like, $5 and she makes 10, like I understand it. You're poor. You have no money. But
quote that. Break the graphic. You're poor. You have no money.
But if your wife,
Josh Peterson.
if you are both doing well and she's the breadwinner, that sounds great. I would not look down at myself and say, wow, you are sad. I would say this is sweet.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Not be the breadwinner?
Yeah.
Oh no, I totally could not be the breadwinner. Like I totally could live life with my wife making more than me.
That's good. You're in radio,
yeah,
so I hope so.
Okay,
but
you better.
But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I would like to do the lawn. Just because it's like...
See, but that's the thing. She likes doing the lawn. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate doing the lawn.
Now, if she didn't like it, if it was like a chore for her and you made her
then
that would be a problem.
We're having a different conversation.
I don't think that's weird at all, because if that's her therapy, like
Bingo.
if her therapy is like working in the yard and pulling weeds and doing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Correct. #therapy.
No, seriously, it's very important. We all need things to do that like takes our minds off of things that like we enjoy.
Text from the 402, who does the laundry? So we split up our laundry.
See, that's fine.
And then most of the time I wash the towels and I put those away.
Yeah.
I wash the sheets. She did that and made the bed the other day. But for the most part, like that is a thing that I have taken on in the relationship. Like I'll do that.
I hate doing laundry
so
much.
See, you know what I talk about a therapy thing for me?
Folding clothes.
You know what I do? I just put my headphones on.
I can't.
I listen to I Have an Opinion. That's what I do when I do dishes. Do dishes, headphones.
The last thing that I want to do is do laundry.
Really?
I can't stand it.
So you just let it pile up?
You buy more clothes.
See, here's my thing. If you go to my room is not clean, but it's not a pigsty. And the reason why it's not a pigsty is I don't eat in my room. I don't bring drinks into my room, right? I don't have
drinks.
like a Gatorade or a beer or whatever.
I'll have a beer in my room occasionally.
I don't do that. Like I think it's not a pigsty, but there's a lot of clothes on the ground.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like doing laundry.
Doing
laundry
that would
is
trigger
the worst.
Me. If I came over to your apartment and I saw your clothes everywhere.
Well, you would. So here's my thing, though. That if I have people coming over, I will spend an entire day cleaning up because I love. Do you know what I love?
Surprise Matt, knock on the door. Boop, boop, boop.
I love being a host. I love hosting people. I love having people over. I love making food for people. When you come to you don't pay for beer, you don't pay for food, we don't pay for any of that. I got you. I like to host people.
You're a good host.
Okay? So I make sure I clean my stuff.
John writes, I have an opinion. We're going to set a record for fewest opinions read during this segment today. Now, part of the issue is the computers, and I guess I could pull up the stream right now. It's normally so hot that I don't open the stream. Are there opinions on the YouTube chat, Josh?
I have a tweet from Asian Joe.
Let's go, Joe.
I have an opinion. Matt McMaster has grown more during these few days of CWS shows than he has in his entire tenure.
What does that mean, grown? Like I've gotten taller or I've gotten better at radio?
People like you more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Because they're hearing different sides of you.
You bring out different sides in me.
Yeah, we all do. I do a show with John. It's different than a show with you. It's different than a show with Happer.
No, it is. No, there definitely is like a different. There's all different things when you do different shows with different people.
I got an opinion on the stream from J-Man.
Let's go, J-Man.
I have an opinion. Riz will mow the lawn more times than John Bishop and Josh Peterson combined in 2025. And that's okay.
It is okay. Women are allowed to mow the lawn.
No, I
Matt.
didn't. Why you keep doing that? You keep accusing me of saying things that are inappropriate.
You said earlier.
You said that I said all Nebraskas look the same, and then you said that I said that Asian Joe looks the same.
No, we never said that.
I never said that part.
I never said that woman can't mow the lawn.
Woman can't mow lawn.
Yeah.
I caveman. Woman can't mow.
I run straight. By the way, I appreciate the compliment, Asian Joe.
There you go.
I just didn't know what he meant by that. I thought he was like, oh, Matt's gotten taller.
All right. Old man Doug.
Matt's 6'1" now. I would kill to be 6'1".
You would murder a human.
Yes.
To be 6'1".
You would join Josh's murder cult?
People are looking around. There is no motive here. And then they're like, wait a second. That guy grew 3 inches.
I could kill,
5'10's not even short.
I'm 5'11".
5'11's not short. I'm 6 foot with shoes on, so that's what I say to people. I'm 6
women
foot.
at the karaoke.
Connor has a theory that no one in human history has ever been 5'11".
If we put me up
6 foot.
If we put me up on a measuring tape right now, I am 5'11" inches.
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
Man,
most people in your situation would say they're 6 foot.
If I had 2 more inches, I could rule the world.
Wow. Old man
Put
Doug.
that on a graphic.
Old man Doug, I don't know if anyone's read this, so I just want to read this now because he has tweeted this and said this 1,000 times lately.
Okay.
Old man Doug, I have an opinion. Recency bias sucks. I don't know who Doug talks to that just says everything today is the greatest thing ever. He keeps tweeting at us and saying Larry Bird is the GOAT. Larry Bird is not the best player ever.
It is the opposite. We are in a time of society where all we talk about is how everything used to be better.
Correct.
Literally, we talk 90s basketball used to be better. Not having social media.
Remember the snack wrap? America was a better country when we had the snack wrap at McDonald's.
We now talk about, oh my God, college football used to be better. We talk about the prices of things used to be better. Gas prices were oh my God, life was so much easier.
Stick to sports. There's a whole slogan from one candidate that talks about making something great again. The implication being it was better.
All we talk about is how life used to be so great.
Correct.
So recency bias, if anything, I have an opinion. We don't have recency bias anymore.
Oh, we need more recency bias.
It would be really good for sports if we just appreciated the things that were going on in front of us more.
Brandon says, I have an opinion. Josh is secretly enjoying his baseball coverage. Am I secretly enjoying my own coverage of baseball?
You do seem like someone that would enjoy your own coverage.
I do like my takes.
I have
the best takes.
Josh Peterson's a narcissist.
Wow. Is this true?
I would say it like it's a bad thing.
I don't think I have that big of a head. Let's see. Jed writes, I have an opinion. Back to lawn care.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
People who don't blow or sweep the grass off their sidewalks are lazy.
You got to do it.
You put in the effort to mow. Finish the job, you bum. His words, not mine. Yeah. My wife. She, even that's bad.
My wife.
Okay, that's better. She, for the purposes of lawn care, bought the leaf blower and bought the edge trimmer. She does all of the things. She's an incredible woman.
Your wife sounds dope.
Yeah, she's pretty tight. Let's see. What?
Nothing.
Okay. Pedro says, hi, guys. Josh, do you believe that thinking is a generational thing where the wife makes more money and does more so-called man stuff? I don't know. I mean, I think some men are insecure.
You talking about your wife, doing the lawn care, I don't think that is, man stuff. I think that's just her therapy.
Yeah.
She's just doing things that make her happy.
Mm-hmm. What about the making more money thing? Is that a generational thing, or is that just a some men are better than others situation?
I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that.
No opinions from Matt?
No, I don't, if that's a thing you handle within your family, you know? The whole finances thing.
Yeah.
As long as the people that are affected by it are cool with it, it's whatever.
Any other opinions from YouTube before we go to break, Josh?
None that I can read on the air.
Wow. I can't wait to check this out. Oh, nice. Ain't no poser. I almost made that same joke. Jordan says that I sniff my own farts. Wow. I mean, look, I said that Super Bowl was going to go to overtime, and then it did.
By the way, I said to everybody for the Stanley Cup Finals that the Edmonton Oilers would win Game 1 and the Panthers would win in 6 games.
Shout out.
Give me my flowers.
Sniff them, baby.
Why won't no one call the Panthers a dynasty?
Why won't they?
Because 2 in a row is not a dynasty.
It's
3
You gotta win.
A dynasty.
You got to win 3.
You just went back-to-back. 3 in 5 years.
Come by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village for some chewy granola bars from Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery, chewy granola bars, tastiest flavors under the sun, and I would add, or clouds. Also, 1620 The Zone is joined today by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream, providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps, and by Cross-Train Brewing, Nebraska Fresh, and always evolving. We have 25 minutes left in today's show as we get you ready for the baseball. Coming up at 12:40, pregame coverage of Louisville and Coastal Carolina with John Bishop Mike Farron and Gary Sharp on the call. And then later tonight, Arkansas and LSU. If Louisville wins, they're playing tomorrow. If Arkansas wins, they're playing tomorrow. If both win, they're both playing tomorrow. But if both lose, bye-bye. No baseball on a Thursday.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, more to come. We'll get a weather report, traffic report, all sorts of reports as we continue here on 1620 The Zone. Country Fest is back at the OBV this Friday. OBV welcomes Walker Montgomery and special guest Casey Johns and Kimberly Meyer to the Beer Garden stage. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets at OmahaBaseballVillage.com. And the special edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. We got a text to the hotline right now from Jordan. I have an opinion. It's more of a question, though.
Okay.
If Riss cooks and Riss mows the lawn, what the hell does Josh do? I said it. I do the dishes.
Yeah.
I usually am the loader and unloader of the dishwasher.
And you like to do the laundry.
I do lots of laundry.
Yeah.
I usually vacuum the house, though she did it this week before my parents came over for dinner.
Do you know what you do?
I dust.
You do your job.
I do my job.
Okay.
Patriot way.
You do your job. It's the Peterson way. You walk into the Peterson household, and it says, do your job. You do your job.
Yep.
I
you
have
run
also
a good
received
program.
the text.
Uh-oh.
Josh spending all that time to brag about how great his wife is was kind of a missed opportunity where you didn't chime in and brag about your wife.
Is that from your wife?
It is. From
Josh?
My wife.
Anything you'd like to say about your
I'd like to
betrothed?
say something about Josh Hodson's wife.
Okay. Careful.
She is a phenomenal woman.
Great take.
She is a
maybe
great,
your best.
Great human. When I first met her, when I came here to Omaha, she was one of the first, literally 3 weeks in, I met Josh Hodson's wife, and she was so supportive and helpful.
That's what she
gave
does.
me so many great tips. So I shout out.
Tips and tricks.
Shout out.
She
Amy
cooks. She does the laundry. She takes care of the child.
Yes.
Connor gets all the absentee father crap, but I'm often absent as well.
You're going to movies.
So sleepy.
Yeah.
No time. No time.
Sorry, dear. I have to go see the new Mission Impossible again.
I have to. Josh, why are you going to Sinners for the fourth time?
Nice. Okay, so real quick. Jair Alexander signing with the Ravens. We just learned that. The news is coming down. And during the break, you almost said who your Super Bowl pick is going to be as of June 18th. And I said, save it for the air. And so real quickly, what's your Super Bowl pick, Matt?
Bills.
Nice.
Commanders.
Oh, what is this, 1990?
I am all in on the Washington Commanders.
You don't think there could be a little sophomore slump for Mr. Daniels like there was for Mr. Stroud?
Even if he's sophomore,
CJ Stroud can't throw right now.
Even if he's sophomore slumps, he's still gonna be a pretty damn good quarterback. He was still great last year. So even if he doesn't take,
even if he slumps,
the whole sophomore slump
slump
is really you are slightly worse than what you were your rookie year.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he was so good his rookie year that if he was slightly worse, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And they got Debo, and they added some really good pieces on the defense, and along with Terry McLaurin. And I think they have a lot of momentum. And, they got a good coach, Dan Quinn, who's got that culture set. I like the steps that they've taken. And I think that the Lions are going to take a major step back this year.
Yeah, so on the AFC side, I am either Bills or Ravens.
Yeah.
Though you could talk me into the Chargers.
I can't talk you into the Chiefs.
I mean, you could, but first of all, I don't want to pick it. It's boring.
Sure.
Second of all, I thought the Super Bowl was kind of what was going to happen to them a lot at the end of last year, where they were just going to lose by a lot of points, and it finally happened. They cannot keep doing this. And I know Chiefs fans are going to say, yeah, we can. No, you're not going to win every one-score game for the rest of time. They're going to lose.
But I think that is how the team is made to win. I think that is just their strategy.
I know. And they're good at it.
But I don't – here's the thing. I think they'll win a lot of games,
but
I just don't think they'll win Super Bowls. I just don't think they're dynamic enough anymore to win Super Bowls.
I lean Ravens. I think the Ravens are a really, 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 really good team.
I think Jair Alexander is an incredible pickup for that team, especially
even with the injury concerns the last couple years.
I don't care. Even when he's injured, he's still –
he's good.
So here's the thing. The whole Jair Alexander getting cut from Green Bay, he was not worth his contract anymore. And so I understand why Green Bay did it. And so another thing, too, is that, I get Jair Alexander being nah, I'm not going to play for anything less than, what I make it, so I ain't going to renegotiate my deal, right? But the Baltimore secondary was awful last year. Very sneaky
Yeah,
bad.
The defense took a big step back from the previous one. But then they did get better over the back half of the season. But they had those dumb early season losses that cost them a home field matchup versus the Bills.
But even when so even just adding an above average, a slightly above average corner, if that's what Jair Alexander is after the whole injury concerns, that still improves their defense massively because their corners were bad last year. So I like that addition a lot for him. But I think it's time for the Bills. ridiculous. It's time. And the fact that
I said it last year and I was wrong, and it made me sad.
They lost Diggs, and they still could pass, and they still could be dynamic, and they still
Josh Allen continues to level up.
I think Keon Coleman, I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but I think Keon Coleman's going to be a pretty damn good wide receiver in the NFL. So,
yeah.
Give it to me. I like the Bills.
So, I like I said, I like either the Bills or the Ravens. I lean Ravens right now. NFC, I have no idea. I think you're right about the Lions. I mean, they're losing both coordinators. I am a Dan Campbell guy, but I can't wait to find out what he's really made of now without those two coordinators.
I think what happened to the Eagles 2 seasons ago, where they started like 10-0 and then they absolutely fell apart, I think the same thing will happen to the Lions. Like, I think the Lions are going to win a lot of games,
but they're just not going to be as good.
But you're going to be like, there's a difference. Yeah. Like, this is a different team.
And that Eagles team had lost their two coordinators.
Exactly. They
became head coaches.
Yeah, they lost Steichen
and Jonathan Gannon. Yeah.
And you're like, all right, they're winning, but like.
And that next year, their defense, especially the back half of the season, took a big step back. The offensive court, Ben Johnson as the OC, he was horrible.
And what did Philadelphia do?
They leveled up again.
No.
And then they won the Super Bowl.
Well, no.
And it made me sad.
Well, sure.
I'm really depressed.
But they promoted from within. Right, they promoted their coordinators from within, and
kind of. I mean, Vic Fangio had been with the Dolphins.
No, but that was this. No, so when they
wait, are you talking about when they
2 years ago when 22 they lost to Gannon and Steichen?
Ben Johnson was the quarterback's coach, and who was their first defensive coordinator that year? Was he the linebackers coach? Because remember, they ended up bringing in Patricia towards the end of the season.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. When the Eagles lost their coordinators, right, they promoted from within.
Yeah.
When the Lions lost their coordinators, they are also promoting from within. They didn't go EAGLES. So that's the thing. Like, they're kind of going down the same path here in terms of like, all right, we're going to have the same strategy, we're going to do the same thing, even though we have the same roster. I think it's going to be bad for them.
So
Bears.
I mean, there's part of me that wants to just say it's probably going to be the Eagles because they're really, really good, but it's hard to do it again. So maybe I lean Rams.
Whoa!
But I also wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers had a really nice bounce back.
You going to give me any love?
You?
My team?
The Bears?
No. To go to the Super Bowl?
You don't think we
Is it 1985, Matt?
I mean, we're going to be pretty good this year.
All right.
I find it interesting you both pick teams on different sides of the bracket.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I had a dream the other night that the Eagles played the Lions in the Super Bowl, and now I wonder if Nick Grimm incepted me.
He did.
What do you? I didn't get the Nick Grimm joke right away. That was my bad.
It's all good.
I was so confused.
It's all good. The Special Edition Zone Hotline is powered by the Sedora Law Group. Your outcome depends on what you do next. And please stop by the Zone booth inside of the Omaha Baseball Village and register to win ice cream for a year from Ted and Wally's. Ted and Wally's official ice cream is 1620 The Zone, celebrating more than 35 years with over 3,000 flavors. Benson in the Old Market, Omaha. Come back. Josh is going to say some words. He's going to let you know that 13th Street is closed, and they close it 2 hours before the game starts, so it's actually been closed.
And everybody's healthy, all right? Let me just spoil the injury report. Everybody's
Christmas.
Okay.
So we'll have that information, and we'll get you ready for game one of the day. Will Coastal Carolina eliminate Louisville, or do the Cards live to see another day? We find out soon on 1620 The Zone. Josh Peterson and Matt McMaster coming to you as we finish up the show and getting ready for Louisville and Coastal Carolina. Arkansas and LSU coming up tonight. Can Arkansas finally get some wins versus LSU? LSU 16-5 in their last 21.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If they don't get it tonight, because they have a massive advantage.
Come on, LSU?
No, Arkansas.
Well, if they don't get it tonight, their season's done.
No, I know. But, I mean, like, if they don't get it tonight, like, when are they going to do it? Because, like, you have to understand – LSU got screwed by the weather, okay? Anthony Ianson, like, losing him and not being able for him to have an actual, like, outing and then having to use the arms. I mean, they used a lot of arms in that UCLA game. Look at Arkansas. They're sitting pretty right now after Gage Wood throws a no-hitter. And then Zach Root, incredible yesterday. 5 innings pitched, no earned runs, like, gave them a quality start. Arkansas has arms. Arkansas still, and they
threw a no-hitter.
They have their Sunday starter and a bunch of like top and bullpen arms they've been using this year. LSU doesn't have that advantage, which is so weird because typically it's the opposite when you have a team that's trying to win the 2 games to go ahead to the championship series.
Josh Hodson, you're going to tell us some stuff about how it's starting to rain.
It is starting to rain, but they can play baseball in the rain. I don't know if you've seen this or heard about this.
I've heard. Just no lightning, please.
It is my opportunity to tell you that everyone's healthy with an injury report presented by KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. There are no injuries.
Whoa!
Providing increased performance to people who suffer from muscle fatigue and cramps. If either of you told me, Josh, you're wrong, so-and-so is injured, I would report it, but neither of you have.
No.
So I'll say the same thing I've said all week. Very healthy series we're having, and that's a good thing. I don't root for people to get injured like you two.
Whoa!
No, like he does.
Why you guys just keep making baseless claims about me?
Tell us about the traffic, Josh.
It's presented by Park Omaha. Make a game plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com.
Before you say anything, you got to let him read the stuff. He said it, parkomaha.com.
But there's stuff that comes after it that is legally required.
Yeah. Say it again, Josh, just for
traffic
folks at
presented
home.
by Park Omaha. Make a game plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance at parkomaha.com. Matt McMaster.
Do you want to try and guess what the traffic is back up to? Like what
That's
street?
a fun game.
Okay.
Cloudy. Not that the audience here has been smaller today. 18th Street.
I'll go 24th.
All right. You're both wrong. We're having a great traffic day as it's really just congested around the stadium.
The worst part.
But getting off of 480, you're going to be backed up until the McDonald's there on 24th. But in between, smooth sailing and also
smooth operator.
When you're driving around the stadium, watch out for those pedestrians or out-of-town drivers who may not know where they're going.
Or if you're
like
out of
you.
If you're an out-of-town.
No. Like you in your car, know where you're going. You're smart.
Yeah, you're smart.
There
human.
are out-of-towners that might not know where they're going.
And one more thing before you tell us one more time about our great sponsor. If you are listening and you see a number on the license plate and then a dash, watch out for those people.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those people. Traffic presented by Park Omaha. Make a game plan for your parking. Learn more about parking in advance. You can book it from home and then come down to the stadium at parkomaha.com.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
This is when we tell Matt, so that means they're from small towns. Get out the banjos.
Oh, shots fired.
Allegedly.
Thank you for spending money in our city.
But we do love you, and we do appreciate you.
I thought that was like,
they can't drive.
I thought that, why are you making fun of these people? You don't know these people.
Whoa, multiple stoplights.
They're not from Omaha. What do you mean?
Multiple stoplights.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not
a roundabout?
I'm not from Omaha. Do you have a problem with me?
You're from Chicago. This is like me going to a small town.
This is okay. We'll.
Wow.
Child's play.
Jimmy doesn't like these jokes about small towns, apparently. He said, I'm playing you off right now, dagnabbit. Shut up about it. All right. We're going to send you up to the broadcast booth. It'll be John Bishop. It'll be Mike Farron. It'll be Gary Sharp down on the rainy baseball field as Louisville takes on Coastal Carolina. If Coastal Carolina wins, they're moving on to the championship series. If Louisville wins, that means we have at least one baseball game tomorrow.
One baseball game.
Can't wait to listen to them. It's going to be a great broadcast. You're starting to hear this more and more. I'm excited. We'll be back in between it and ahead of LSU and Arkansas a little bit later on. For Jimmy Chavez back in our 1620 studio. For Josh Hodson right